broadcasting studio for BMB's first ever Superintendent's Roundtable. Today we've gathered students from around the district to sit down with the Superintendent, Mr. DiTomaso, to discuss what makes Bellmore-Merrick the great district that it is. I'm your host, Braden Mayer, a senior here at MEPM, and I am joined today by Kennedy Jr. Rachel Katz, Calhoun Jr. Megan Parr, MEPM sophomore Maria Goges, Grand Avenue 8th grade Caroline Grippo, MAM's 8th grade Reza Aziz, Jordan Ladd from MAP, and of course our superintendent, Mr. DiTomaso. So how you doing, guys? Everyone excited to be here?
Yeah. We are excited to be here. This is a fantastic experience, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, this is the first time we've ever done something like this, so we're excited to have you. Thank you for coming out. So we've prepared a whole bunch of packages for you today, so we're going to show you some packages, and we're going to get your opinions on them. So a few weeks ago, B&B sent a crew around the district to interview students about what makes life in the schools what life was like in the schools that they attend. Here's what we found out about student life here in Bellmore-Merrick.
There are over 4,000 students in the Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District. Each student in our district is different and stands out in their own way. We are a district made up of scholars, athletes, artists, and more. Each of us seeks to find success in our own way that make us diverse and accomplished student body.
We're very driven. We're a very driven student body, always looking to compete against each other to try to get into the best schools possible, and I think the competition among the students fuels our success.
Students are great students is because, well, the teachers here and all our rules, everyone follows pride, and everyone always cares for each other and everything.
MEPM students are very motivated. I think it has to do, again, with the teachers and all the staff helping us out, giving us our support.
Every day, Bellmore-Merrick students are on the cutting edge in dozens of fields of study that will help us grow into leaders of tomorrow.
They're all so friendly, they're easy to become friends with and join in other groups if you don't see someone you know.
All your differences, and everyone here is different, so it's really good to have people like you know to come to school and you know you're not going to feel left out.
This is best things because everybody has so much school spirit, and I mean everybody wears their school jerseys to school on game days, and we have pep rallies. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, everyone really cares about the school and cares about communicating and being great together. That's great.
So Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District, would you say best students on the island?
Without a doubt, the best students on the island. Come on, there's no question. By every statistical measure, every way you can think of, Bellmore-Merrick kids perform academically in all instructional areas. We have incredible music and arts programs or athletic programs as well. I always say all these lists come out all the time about the best schools in the country, and all of our schools are always on the lists, right? But the truth of the matter is those lists don't measure the quality of our schools. They don't. You guys, what you saw today, and I think what you'll hear at our roundtable will further prove that. It's not about a grade, it's not about a number, it's about how kids feel every day when they go to our schools. And, I take great pride in what we just saw because, it's such a diverse student body that can do really amazing things in a lot of different areas. So I think that there's no question that the school district is one of the finest in the state, one of the finest in the country, and again, without a doubt, our kids are performing incredibly well.
Wow. Well, so how about then to the students? I mean, anything stand out about your classmates to you guys?
I really love my classmates because it really, I guess the environment really helps me as a student achieve more, and it really motivates me to being able to achieve whatever I can. And it really definitely pushes me and motivates me into just becoming the best of the best.
So easy to make friends, would you say?
Of course, of course.
What about the rest of you? You echo that point?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't supposed to go to my high school because I'm there for the on-tour program, so I was really nervous to go, of course, but the environment was so welcoming, and I met a lot of friends.
So again, about the environment, the kids at all your respective schools, would you say they care about their education?
Yeah.
Care about achieving?
Yeah, I think it's important for students to have a passion for learning, and I think that's one of the key things in Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District, that we all every student tries, and we all kind of compete and fuel one another. And I think that's really, really important.
Right. Well, great. So, I mean, many people would say that students are only ever as good as their teachers, right? So, why don't we go ahead and let's take a look at what makes the teachers in Bellmore-Merrick so great.
Bellmore-Merrick is made of over 600 teachers who come to us from all over the country and in some cases from around the world. These highly qualified educators work tirelessly in fields from chemistry to culinary arts and from geometry to global history to make sure that the students of our district learn, succeed, and grow.
They're all really nice and like supportive, and if you ever need help, they always like help a lot. And they're never like, they're always like, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Manners has great teachers because the teachers here, they're very caring. They have a lot of empathy for all the students here. And they're always willing to always take the extra step and very wonderful to everyone.
Bellmore-Merrick students are fortunate to have so many dedicated, professional, and caring faculty members to help guide us to succeed after high school.
They care about what they do, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, they're very thorough in what they teach. They're very willing to listen to you if you have questions to ask. Like all the teachers I've had here are very understanding, very helpful. Very nice. Like you could really have like conversations and connect with them.
Bellmore-Merrick is made of over 600 teachers who come to us from all over the country and in some cases from around the world.
Teachers as instructors are important to your individual academic growth.
Definitely,
Yeah.
So, do you agree with, a student is only as good as the teacher?
Yes. I think so, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I think that it shows throughout. If you have a teacher that is passionate about what they do and they come in and actually are excited to teach, then the students will be excited themselves. And that's what makes the learning environment successful, is having a teacher that's not only passionate about what subject they're teaching, but the actual students themselves, because teachers, they need to be great teachers and they also need to be great role models and individuals.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I actually want to get your opinion on that, Mr. DiTomaso. How important would you say a teacher is to the success of the student?
Oh, well, there's no question. It's the most important factor in whether or not kids are going to be successful in school is what happens in that classroom. A teacher, has that ability to take kids from one level to the next academically, but has that ability to sort of change the stars of that child. Let's face it. I mean, you spend a lot of time in school. You spend a lot of time with teachers. We're blessed in Bellmore-Merrick to really have, a great staff. And I love what you guys are saying, very similar to what was said on the video. You got to feel that passion about learning, right? And I think our teachers do. We try to give, our teachers support, the best resources available. We are here for kids. Bellmore-Merrick is for kids and about kids, and I think our staff knows that. And they know that, and I say this, and I've been saying this more lately, I'm not sure 15 years down the road, you're going to remember something specific about a specific subject. I mean, I taught at MEPM, my first year was 1988, teaching here. I'd like to think in social studies that kids in my class were going to remember a little something about the Gettysburg Address. They might not. But you know what I want them to remember? What I wanted them to remember more than that is that they remember, how I treated them. How when they walked in, they felt good about learning and felt good about, getting better in the subject matter. Or that I was there to help them with particular problems. And I think, that's what Bellmore-Merrick teachers do. It's more than just about, this academic growth. Yes, that's critical and it's important, and we can never underestimate that. But it's about how teachers, make kids feel, when they walk out every day. And I think we do that better than any place, in New York State. I do.
Yeah, that's definitely been my experience. All the teachers I've encountered over my 4 years here at MEPM have been exceptional. Like, it's both in the way they teach and in just their attitudes as people. Like, I'd be hard pressed to find a teacher who wasn't, ready to support you with any kind of problem you might have had. So, question then to all you guys: do you have a favorite teacher, someone you want to give a shout out to while we have this time?
Oh gosh.
Hi there.
Yeah.
I know like a lot of my teachers that I've had have impacted me with like schoolwork and all that because I struggle a lot with like schoolwork, and I know that my teachers see how hard I work, and especially my social studies teacher and also my psych teacher, Mr. Montmajori. Like I go into class and he's a very good teacher, and he doesn't take things too seriously. Like he makes it like as much as like makes you feel comfortable to talk, and like I could joke around with him, and like even Mr. Stein too, like he makes me laugh every second period, and it's just like I know like I could go to them and they could help me with whatever I need to succeed.
Yeah, you bring up a great point about teachers having an impact. Would you say that, any one teacher, any group of teachers, or any teacher at any point in time had an impact on you, like be it with the way you learn or just you as a person, or?
Well, I think every teacher has had an impact on me, whether little or big. I know my English teacher, Miss Sapir. I'm a science and math girl. I'm planning on majoring in bio. I was never an English and social studies girl, and I walked into this classroom. I have her for the second time this year. So last year I walked in, and she made literature and grammar even fun for me. And, it made me realize I have to expand my horizons, and I can't always just be focused on one little subject. And her passion, like, it transferred right onto me. And all the teachers there did.
Yeah, it brought you out of your comfort zone,
Right.
which is awesome. Like, what more could you ask for in a teacher? So anybody else on that point?
I think I want to give a shout out to my earth science teacher, because I think that I can definitely just go to her for anything, whether earth science, of course, but other than that, it's just someone good to talk to. She's just good to talk to. If I ever have anything on my chest, I just tell her. And if I'm just struggling in any other part of school, then I just tell her, and she'll definitely give me a better solution. I always come to her after school and go like, hey, how's it going? But for sure, she's really connected me in my Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District life so far.
Well, you got to give a shout out to her name. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, Mrs. Verweiss. Sorry.
I can definitely attest to that, too. At MAP, we have less students per teacher, and I have such a great relationship with all the teachers there, even the ones that I don't have for subjects. We're all just really great friends.
I've had a lot of teachers. I can honestly say that I've never had any type of problem with a teacher before. I've just liked all my teachers, and in particular, two this year that I really enjoy their class. One is my AP Bio teacher, Miss Lascarides. That class is really hard, I'm not gonna lie. We just had the AP this week. But she made the class fun, and I love how she would teach us stuff, but she wouldn't teach us to the test exactly. She would just teach us the subject, and we learned so much more than we needed to, and we kind of weren't realizing it as we were going. And she's also so helpful. And before we have tests, she's so cute. She sends us these remind messages, and she's always like, oh, study, you guys will do great. She always sends us quotes. And then also my English teacher this year, Mr. Perry. He's so intelligent, and he just makes the classroom. We have worked with kids from Arkansas and Ohio in just this one class, and it's an English class. You don't really think, I guess, much of it, but we've done so much in that class. That's just so much fun.
Yeah, well, again, teachers here, fantastic. But, we also have a stellar administration behind those teachers, giving support to our whole community. And so, for example, MEPM's own principal, Mr. Harrington, he describes himself as our head gopher. His job, according to him, is to go out and make sure that the community, the parents, and the teachers have everything that they need to succeed, everything that they need, to be happy, to be content, and to ensure that, if their parents, that their kids, if their teachers, that their students are getting the best education possible and in the best way possible. So why don't we take a look at our administrators and administrators like Mr. Harrington and all they do for the school.
Out of all the school districts on Long Island, the Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District is known for its exceptional administrators. The administrators across the district support students and teachers, and they help to develop and run the special programs that make Bellmore-Merrick the great district it is. We ask students, what makes their administrators the best?
Well, they help you with anything you need, any problems, and you always know that you have someone to come to if you have an issue here. And it's good to come to school and know that you always have someone there for you, even when you think no one is.
They're great just because I think they care about what they do. I haven't really been able to meet many of them, so I can't say a whole lot on this topic, but I'd say in the few interactions with those whom I had, they just seem to really care about what they do. They don't just like dismiss you because you're a student, you know. They really, like if you have something to say to them, they listen. You know, it's really good that they seem to care about their student body and everything.
Because they're always looking on their students and they're trying to see if there's any problems. They attack their problems very seriously. They always try to give all sides of the arguments in order to make a valid conclusion on whatever they're trying to do. So.
Because again, with empathy, they always care for everyone. They're always willing to take the extra step for everyone. And
Here at MAMS, like, all the administrators are really nice, and you can always go to them with your problems, or if you want to start a club, or anything.
Yeah, they know what they're doing too. They know how to handle every type of situation. They're really well versed in the demographic that they have to deal with, and yeah, they're just really good.
I don't know.
Well, they're just like fun to be around. They're nice guys. They're funny. They can joke around, and they're just good assistant principals.
Let's go. Because they're always involved with us, and they're good to get involved with everything, and they're all close to us too, so like they all know what they're doing.
Because we have Mike Harrington. Don't leave.
I think our administrators see that our school is a very nice place to learn and a very good community. So I think they take that into consideration when they come to work every day.
Administration pretty closely. So how do you feel about the district's administration, like compared to others you may have worked with?
Again, I think just like the teaching staff and the clerical staff and the paraprofessionals and the custodial staff, the administrative team is outstanding. You know, we make up one team. We're a team that has really, you know, we say one voice, one message. In that regard, it's true in that we're here for kids. Right? We talk about what have you done for a kid today. We talk about they need us more than ever, meaning you guys need us more than ever. That's all part of the district language, right? That's how we talk, that's how we think. And I think, you know, the administrative team certainly does care about kids. They care about instruction. I think, but they work very closely with the other staff members to make sure that the experience for kids, whoever enters our school, whatever school we're talking about, when kids enter, we want them to have an amazing experience. You know, a rich experience through coursework, through relationships, through social activities, clubs and athletics. And I think working together, I think that's, you know, what the administrative team does with all the various groups. I mean, that's, you know, that's our mission, really, honestly. If we have people who do not have that mindset, then Bellmore-Merrick is not the right place because, you know, they just don't fit into what this culture is.
Right.
Right? This culture is, you know, about when a kid walks into the door at 7:30 in the morning, did we make their lives a little bit better when they leave at 2:15 or 2:41 at the middle school? You know, when a kid comes into Bellmore-Merrick and they graduate from a Bellmore-Merrick school, whether it's from a middle school to a high school or a high school on to college or university study or work or the military, that they are as prepared, if not more, than every single kid that graduates from every single high school in the country. And we're very confident that working together, you know, that's what happens when a kid leaves our school.
Yeah, I definitely, again, in my own experience, I definitely feel that, you know, the administration is so dedicated to the kids. I mean, you know, speaking from my own experience, at the end of last year, I actually had a concussion and it rendered me pretty much useless for like the whole last quarter of junior year. And the efforts of the administration, like our own, Mr. Harrington and our Mr. Safina as well, worked together so closely with my guidance counselor, with all my teachers, and really made it as easy for me and as stress-free for me as they possibly could. So I definitely know that dedication firsthand. I guess then to direct it to you guys, I mean, maybe not to that scale as, reworking an entire quarter over an injury, but, in some way, as an administrator, impacted you or the way, or your school career?
The principal at Calhoun, Miss Hollings, is probably one of the nicest people that I've ever met. And I think it's just amazing how she knows every single student's name, which I think that's kind of rare, I think, for a principal to know X amount of kids, because there's a lot of kids in Calhoun. And she's also just so dedicated to the students. I always see her at football games. I was in the last show we had at Calhoun, and she emailed every cast member in the show saying how much of a wonderful performance they did. And I just think the little things are so nice that she does.
Definitely very involved.
I think the administration as a whole, I mean, I can only speak for Kennedy, is very involved in student life. I personally, my freshman year and sophomore year, I wasn't very involved with the administration, and I assumed they didn't know I existed, really. I assumed. And this year I'm in Hope Club, and we had to work with a lot of administrators, and I would go up to them and they knew me, and it was really, really interesting. Or I was in the newspaper for basketball, and Mr. Owenberg or Rochester or Miss Poppy even, some of them just came up to me and even said, "Rachel, you did great." They know you, and it's really interesting to see that someone who you think who you never even had a conversation with, they pay attention, and they see your accomplishments, they see your achievements, they see when you're hurting, and they try to step up. I know Mr. DeLolio, the dean, he gives warnings and to make sure everyone's great with their attendance, and he's really involved, and it's really, really great aspect of Kennedy, at least.
Yeah, everybody knows you. That's really what it is. It's one big family with regards to administration and students and teachers even, I think.
Especially at MEPM too. You walk through the hallway and Mr. Harrington, just you can't never see him without a smile on his face. He's always walking through the hallway, making sure everybody's okay. And even Miss Netto too. I walk in, right when the bell rings in the morning, and I know Miss Netto because I had her in 8th grade with my reading support teacher. So I knew her before she came into MEPM and everything. And I know she's had she helped me a lot in Grand. And I came here and I was able to talk to an administrative, and I know I can go to her if I ever need help. And she's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and she's always makes sure I'm okay and asks about my family, and I find that good to know that I could trust my administrative and be able to talk to them about anything.
Yeah, that definitely something I feel.
Yeah, again, we're administrators, we're all teachers, right? So we want our administrative team to never forget that they were teachers, right? And what it's like to be in a classroom, what it's like to deal with kids. And all of them are instructional leaders. Your assistant principals, they have about this much of their job is discipline. The other major part of their job is leading and helping with departments, academic departments, and doing different things. Our chair people deal specifically with subject matters. So that's important that our administrative team, it not only is viewed that way, but they project that way, because again, it's really not about discipline. It's about the overall, creating this overall culture of caring in all of our schools.
For sure. I think we all have that feeling. We all feel like we're cared about.
Of course, especially for me at Merrick Avenue, because I feel that my principal and my assistant principal, they really connect with me, and I think that's the most important part for an administrator, because connecting with the students and really making them feel a part of the Bellmore-Merrick family. I think that is the most important thing. And I think it really impacts the student's life and in terms of an education, a great education, because it just really, I don't know, it like connects with, it's so hard to put into words because there's so much that the administration does for us, and it really makes Bellmore-Merrick a fantastic place. And I really am so glad that I'm a part of this Bellmore-Merrick family, because the way that they make every single student, like, the 4,000 students that are a part of Bellmore-Merrick, I think it's magnificent. It's something that you don't find anywhere else in the whole entire country.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think it is a great place. I mean, it certainly sounds that way, right, from what we've been talking about so far.
And I'll go even better. There's 5,600 students. What do you think about that?
So here we have this. We have a stellar foundation for an institution so far, right? We have amazing students. We have great teachers. We have administration that goes above and beyond. And then on top of all that, we also have specialty programs, right? So specialized instruction plans for kids who have a good idea of what they want to do when they eventually grow up and graduate high school. Mm-hmm. So I think that also definitely contributes to the district, how great a district we are, because we're constantly adding these new programs to reach and enrich different groups of students from around the district. And just this past year we added new magnet programs for broadcasting here at Mepham and culinary arts at Kennedy were added to the highly successful and well-respected on-tour program as specialty programs that students can enroll in here in the district. So why don't we take a deep dive here into the specialty programs in this district.
Fork in hand. Something's cooking at John F. Kennedy High School. New this year, students walking the halls are
specialty programs here. So I mean, speaking for myself, I'm part of the broadcasting program here. Unfortunately, it's my first and last year, but I'm really excited to see what this kind of program will become. And I know we have a bunch of people here who are involved in On Tour. Mm-hmm. So why don't we start with you, Rachel? Can we get just a word about On Tour, your experience with it? Oh, sorry, wrong person. Megan. Wow.
I really like On Tour. It's it was so nice to go into a program with such a big family, I guess I would really call it, honestly, because all the friends I've made from the program are like family, and I just think it's so amazing how as a freshman you can have friends in every single grade. And something about our program that I think is unique compared to other high schools across the country is that all of the shows we put on. We put on 4 main production shows a year, but then in addition to that, we have improv nights, and it's just fun, and yeah.
So in another word about On Tour, as you, Reza, who just you're going into On Tour next year. Yeah. You excited?
I am super excited. I mean, ever since the 5th and 6th grade, I've been part of my drama program. I mean, elementary school was like a little play production. I just kind of tried it just to see how it was because so many of my friends were doing it, and they seemed, that they were interested as well. And as soon as I stepped foot into the audition for the elementary school, I enjoyed it so much. It was just nice to be on that stage. And so then I took it into the middle school. I took it into Merrick Avenue, and last year we just did Greece. This past this past March, we did Oklahoma, and I just really, really enjoyed it because it's just nice to have fun with your friends at the rehearsals, and it's just nice to have fun with your friends at the rehearsal. And I'm looking so forward into joining the On Tour company in Calhoun because, I mean, as Megan said it, I think it'll be really enjoying just to have fun, for sure.
And Jordan, I know you also have On Tour experience.
Yeah, so I was in it freshman and sophomore year before I came to MAP, and I had such a great time. We had so many inside jokes between us, and, the late nights were a little hectic, but you know, amazing moments of friendship come out of them. And it's hard to experience that in such a digital age where you go back to live theater.
Yeah, I think all the specialty programs definitely promote that feeling of camaraderie. Even in such a short time, you really feel close with all the people in your program. I mean, like I said, I've only been here a year, but already I know I'm gonna be visiting all the time, like next year while I'm in college. So I think for sure it's such a great environment. Everybody cares about what you care about, and it really gives you the tools to have a great time, and moreover, learn a whole lot. So, Mr. DiTomaso, I want to direct some questions at you.
Sure.
So how do you feel, the inclusion of the specialty programs? How do you feel that they've enhanced the district?
Oh, I think they're doing exactly what we hoped they would do and more. We always knew, On Tour is a traditional, outstanding program. And when we looked at sort of restructuring the district, and the bond gave us an opportunity to look at various rooms and an idea of what are the hot sort of careers out there that we think kids are going to be interested in, and where kids would gravitate toward. We're really looking at a lot more individualized learning. In other words, what do kids want? What do they need? Not the typical, this is what we're going to give you, take it. It's how can we, expand on your strengths, on what you want to do. And the success of On Tour, sort of gave us that framework, that plan on what to look for. And we knew that the culinary program would be something that we would look at. Culinary is huge right now. Kids are very interested. Certainly the Food Network has helped propel all of us to think about food and cooking, and maybe more than I'd like to every now and then, but certainly we're thinking about those things. And when we developed this program, we wanted it to be like this top program, top facilities. We have outstanding teachers in all of these programs, and you saw a little bit on the video. It's amazing to see that kitchen and kids in action, right? You walk by, it's
insane, and they're so involved, and it's so great to see. And like people come out of there, and their faces are just so happy. I'm in art. That's my break, I guess, in the day. I have 41 minutes of just really expressing myself, and that's their way of doing that. And Kennedy, I think should be addressed as ASR, Advanced Science Research, it's a program that's been established there, and it's so amazing to see. I'm an AP Bio, and a lot of kids are in both, and they tell me how great it is, how they can, they're not an art or culinary or drama kind of person, but they can even express themselves through science. And I think these programs and even the clubs and the sports, they give Kennedy and all the schools in Bellmore-Merrick Central High School District a sense of family and support, and you can express yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's again that's what we saw, for many years with On Tour, and so we love the idea that kids could go to from our schools could go to Calhoun for a specialty program. The same thing is happening now in CHAMP, right? The CHAMP program is more than cooking; it's hospitality, it's management. This whole program of looking at the food industry, the hospitality industry, and now we know kids from other, all the buildings can go to JFK. The same thing is true here at MEPM. I mean, we're in the studio, right? When we first came onto this set, we were sort of like blown away by the lights and the cameras, and if you pay attention to some of the work that's happening here in the broadcasting program, again, we wanted the facility to be fantastic for kids, right? We wanted the best, for teachers, so that kids could actually, this is something they have a passion about, that they might do in the future by being in this class. Right, and these programs have built up so quickly, right, so fast, that I guarantee In a few years, we're going to see kids sprinkled throughout the network TV. In some form of broadcasting, in some, form of, the camera, the production, the on-air talent, whatever it is. There's no doubt that we're going to see kids in the food industry. There's no question, we're going to see chefs of various, foods. There's no question we're going to see people in hotels and hospitality areas, just like we've seen for years, kids coming, out of on tour. So we could not be, we're ecstatic about what's happening with these programs. It's just another chance. It's giving more opportunities to kids, to take things they might be interested in now and maybe interested, down the road, right? And that's why we really develop these programs, and we cannot be more pleased about what's happening.
It's actually a great segue into my next question, where being in those of you who are involved in the specialty programs, has it impacted, your plans for the future?
I mean, I would love to be an actor someday. I know that's, a little hard. But it definitely has made me want to maybe minor in that in college. Yeah.
What about over here? Any feelings?
I definitely have to agree with Megan. I never felt like there was like a force, like if you're in on tour, you have to go into acting. I always saw it as something for now. And there are definitely those people who know right from the get-go, this is what I want to do. But for me, it was, it was that relief during the day.
I definitely agree with Jordan that it is definitely a relief during the day, after you've had all those intense classes, especially down the road for me. But I really feel that although I would love to become an actor someday, I mean, I don't know, but it's really early.
He's very good in Oklahoma, so there's a shot I'm going to give him that. So maybe the two of you are going to be, on stage together in the future.
Maybe on Broadway right here. But I don't really know if I'll go into the dramatic arts, but I agree with Megan that maybe I'll minor in the dramatic arts because, I mean, definitely that's something that very much interests me.
So it sounds to me like, on tour, like our specialty programs, for the kids who know what they want to do from the jump, it's a way to, to cultivate that talent, to cultivate that skill. And for those who aren't sure, it allows them to, expand their horizons, try new things, get involved in things that they might be interested in the future. Which, I mean, what more could you ask for from a program?
Well, let's think about it. When Calhoun had the Shakespeare Festival, right, this past year, the food was made by the Champ Kids. Mm-hmm. So, and the filming, right, in the future will be done by broadcasting. So 3 programs, 3 different schools, kids from all of the schools involved in these events, right? I'm not sure we find that in other places, right? When we talk about one voice, one message, it's taken a district that's this big and helped make a district this big. Because now we have kids in all 3 of these programs interacting over specific events. Again, and it's a tribute to the teachers and a tribute to the kids, for making it work, no doubt.
And again, sounds like we have a pretty good district, right, guys?
For sure. Yeah.
So that's gonna wrap up our discussion on specialty programs. But just closing remarks. So does anyone have any other just last things to say about the district, feelings about the district, any going back to things we talked about previously, any outstanding things that haven't been said that should be said?
I think sports should be mentioned. I'm a 3 varsity athlete, so I'm definitely passionate about sports, but I think it is just like one of the programs where it kind of fuels your passion and it fosters different competitiveness that definitely needs to be mentioned. And I think it also makes Kennedy, or whatever school you are, like you want to rep your school. Me, like I cannot wait for game day so I can wear my shirt to school and people come, they always say good luck or, oh my God, where is it? I'll come. And it's so awesome that you have so much support. And then you want to rep your school. And I know that, sometimes like Mepham or Kennedy, if they're playing each other, or Calhoun, they want to be competitive. But no matter what, we're all a part of the same district. And if Mepham's playing a school that we rival, let's say, we will cheer for them. And I think sports kind of connect us all, and that it makes us even more of a one voice, one message too.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I agree with Rachel. I'm on cheerleading, and these past 2 years, Mepham varsity cheerleading went to nationals, and so did Kennedy. And just like the passion that each sport, football, soccer, baseball, all the sports, like you get connected with everybody on the team, even if it's varsity or JV. Like we're all like this one big family. And I know personally, I was on JV 2 years, and I became very close to my coach, my teammates, and I always look forward for football season or like basketball season just to cheer. It's just like, it just makes my Mepham experience just so much fun.
And I completely have to agree with everybody that mentioned sports because I really want to thank Mr. DiTomaso and all of the administration here at Bellmore-Merrick because I really want to thank you for giving us the turf facilities, especially at Merrick Avenue, where I played soccer. But I think that it has really increased the players' abilities to perform better as a team and the camaraderie to come together much more. Because when we went to visit the other schools during our season, we saw that their fields were not as well maintained as ours. And I think that since we've instituted these turf fields, I think that it has really bring Bellmore-Merrick much closer.
And I think not even necessarily in sports, just I feel so proud to be a part and be supporting. We have pep rallies sometimes, only a couple times a year, but we'll have pep rallies and you'll just see the cheerleaders come out and you feel so proud to be a part of what you're seeing. And even I'm not going to Kennedy, I'm going to Mepham, but I'll be happy to see their successes, and it's just good to feel like part of that.
That's what we keep coming back to, right? This idea of unity, of one voice, one message, of just, everybody rooting for everybody else and everybody being there to support everybody else. And I think that's really, a hallmark of our district. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the underlying trait and the defining trait is just how close we are, how connected we are. So I think that's pretty much it.
I couldn't have said it better myself, guys.
So I just want to thank everybody here for being here today, and a special thank you to you, Mr. DiTomaso, for joining us. And we hope you'll come back and we can make the Superintendent's Roundtable a regular part of your schedule in the years to come. And to all of you who tuned in or clicked the link today, thanks for watching, and feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and check out all the great BMB videos on our YouTube page. For Bellmore-Merrick Broadcasting from the BMB studio, I've been Braden Mayer, and this has been the Superintendent's Roundtable.